The Colts aren't the only team preparing for life after Peyton Manning.
Top pick Kendall Wright showed up at Baptist Sports Park for rookie orientation.
Coach Bobby Petrino was fired over an embarrassing scandal involving...
Local sports coverage on television has changed in recent years. A variety of factors prompted layoffs and reduced coverage.
The internet has given people many more choices.
You are watching Sports Center.
They can get all the highlights from ESPN. Why do we need you?
On air or on life support. Are we witnessing the demise of the local TV sportscast?
It's sort of sad to see because I'm a sports fan, but there are a lot of people out there who don't share my sentiments.
The NBA playoffs on ESPN.
Everyone's used to getting information when they want it, not when the sports anchor is going to give it to them.
The Predators were supposed to be in Bridgestone Arena when...
In recent years, many TV stations have done away with a sports anchor, sports department, or deleted sports altogether from newscasts.
Golf's unofficial fifth major, the Players' Championship, wrapping up Sunday at the TBC at Sauger.
The Penn State University Center for Sports Journalism conducted a survey in 2006 called The Local Sports Broadcast, a Dying Segment. Researchers polled 216 sports directors, anchors, and reporters at stations in the country's top 50 television markets. The results showed many believed their segment on the local newscast could become extinct.
The Memphis Grizzlies fans are able to visit with some real...
So what has caused the decline in sports coverage? Many cite the economy, an increasing emphasis on weather coverage over sports, and the internet as social media and mobile devices put sports news in our hands at any time. The pattern of downsizing TV sports departments and eliminating anchors is so widespread that when one station recently hired a national talent search firm to help it find a new morning anchor, it was swamped with audition videos from out-of-work TV sports anchors. Many former sports anchors are now working in news, talk radio, or public relations. One of those is former WSMV sports anchor Brad Knoop, who now works in media relations for the University of Louisville. Knoop disagrees with the concept of declining viewership for local sports.
It's a decline in viewership of local news, and that has to do with all the other avenues in which people can get their information, not just about sports, but about news. Everything's online, everything's on TV, everything you can get through social media, so there are more places for people to go that are active with their news and information. They want to go get it, and they can find it without having to wait for a 5 or 6 or 11 o'clock newscast.
The rise of social media is one reason for a decline in sports coverage. Another is the economy. Professor of Media Studies and Director of Mass Communication at Belmont University, Rich Tyner, says the economy has led to the consolidation in media, reductions of staff size, and while he says local news is popular with advertisers, the audience is declining.
All of those things combined, they're doing everything that they can to increase growth in revenue, growth in profits, and cutting staff is part of that. And then on the other side, when you see the fan interest kind of changing from this mass appeal interest to more of a specific segmented kind of appeal, I think all those things working together, here we are. We reduce maybe the size of our staff, and then also we reduce the length of our sports cast.
First, the news happening at this hour.
Some describe the decline of local sportscast in 4 letters, ESPN. How does local TV fight the ESPN effect and find its own niche?
And it's what one of those suspended players said that prompted today's edition of Between the Lines from Rudy Kalis.
Alexander Radulov was in the...
Nashville sports anchor Rudy Kalis has worked on air for WSMV television for 38 years.
You see, television viewing audience, 50% of the audience has limited interest in sports. We broadcast, ESPN narrowcast, but we have to find a way to do sports in a way whereby the person who has limited or no interest in sports won't turn you off. So you try to be creative in terms of, let me do the human interest story. Let me give you an angle that you may not like sports, but you're still willing to watch and not turn me off. That's the challenge that we have.
Fulmer becomes just the 3rd Tennessee football coach inducted into the Hall of Fame. The University of Memphis Tigers about an hour.
The Titans traded up to get as a tight end. He went under the radar.
Belmont's Rich Tyner says sports is more popular today than ever.
It's just the way that people are getting that information is different. And I think even the type of information that people are wanting and getting is way different. The kinds of information that they're interested in has changed, and the way they get that information has changed. And to me, that's the big difference. It's not that sports is any less popular than it was.
At some stations, sports is a vital part of the on-air product, while at others, sports remains on life support. For Tennessee Matters, I'm Terry Likes.